Thank you for joining with me for the meditation of Lesson 181. Let's go ahead and sit with our backs supported, head and neck free. Do a few shoulder scrunches up to your ears and release. Let's do a few head rolls. 2 to the right and 2 to the left. Remember, this is the meditation, not the practice of the lesson. So lessons 181 through 200 make a special point of firming up your willingness to make your weak commitments strong. Your scattered goals blend into one intent. You are asked to practice now in order to attain the sense of peace such unified commitment will bestow. It is experiencing this that makes it sure that you will give your total willingness to following the way the Course sets forth. Go ahead and start with a 2x breath. Your eyes are closed. In through the nose for a count of 2, out through the mouth for a count of 4. And repeat that 3 times. In practicing today, we first let all little focuses give way to our great need to let our sinlessness become apparent. We instruct our minds that it is this we seek and only this, for just a little while. We do not care about our future goals, and what we saw an instant previous has no concern for us within this interval of time wherein we practice changing our intent. We seek for innocence and nothing else. We seek for it with no concern but now. Start with a 3x breath in through the nose, out through the mouth for a count of 6. Again. I trust my brother who is one. I trust my brothers who are one with me. Let's go ahead and move into a 4x breath. Hold it at the top and exhale for a count of 8. Again. Feel all tension leave your body. I trust my brothers who are one with me. Let us enter into our silent meditation with one intent: to look upon the sinlessness within. I trust my brothers who are one with me. trust my brothers who are one with me. Jesus provides a special introduction to this series of lessons, and this is the only place in the workbook where he does this. These are the final 20 lessons in part 1, which, as you recall from the introduction to the workbook, has as its purpose the undoing of false perception. Part 2 focuses on the acquisition of true perception. Jesus affirms this for us in this introduction. I'm not going to read the introduction, so please, I'm sure if you're practicing the lessons, you will read the introduction. I trust my brothers who are one with me. And this is Ken Wapnick's commentary. Let me begin by stating that this does not mean that you should trust your brother's ego. For example, it would be foolish to invite a kleptomaniac into your home and then leave, not lock your house at night in a high crime area, or your car when you park in the middle of a large city. I recall a situation when a friend of mine, a longtime student of A Course in Miracles, came to me with a problem. He had been in a business arrangement with a fellow course student, and it had become obvious that his partner had been stealing from him. In speaking to me of this, my friend tried valiantly to look at the situation spiritually. And speak of it only in non-judgmental terms. But it was obvious his hurt and anger were getting the best of him. I finally said to him, look, in the eyes of heaven, this person is a son of God. In the eyes of the world, he is a crook. It is not helpful to deny the worldly facts. As will be clear as we proceed, we put our trust in the sinlessness of Christ, not what we perceive to be another's sins. We trust that the perceived sin cannot affect the peace of God within us, and that the egos of others have no more power to keep them away from heaven than ours does. Jesus discusses this in the correction of error, where he says that our brother may indeed be wrong, but that he is not nonetheless right because of who he is. Correction, by which Jesus means content, not form, need always be done with the Holy Spirit, which ensures the absence of judgment and condemnation, even when correcting behavior. To the ego it is kind and right, and I'm reading this from chapter 9, section 3, paragraph 2. To the ego it is kind and right and good to point out errors and correct them. This makes perfect sense to the ego, which is unaware of what errors are and what correction is. Errors are of the ego, and correction of errors lies in the relinquishment of the ego. When you correct a brother, you are telling him that he is wrong. He may be making no sense at the time, and it is certain that if he is speaking from the ego, he will not be making sense. But your task is still to tell him he is right. You do not tell him this verbally if he is speaking foolishly. He needs correction at another level, because his error is at another level. He is still right because he is a son of God. His ego is always wrong, no matter what it says or does. And this is Ken again. Therefore, Jesus is not saying to trust that people are always loving, but only to trust that beyond the ego's darkness, the light of Christ still shines in everyone, no exceptions. We will return to this important teaching as we move through the workbook. Motivation is another key theme here. What enables us to trust that the light of Christ shines in our brother is understanding that this is the only way we will remember the light shines in us as well. Remember that Jesus appeals to our selfish motives, saying, "Do what I teach because it will make you feel better. You will not feel good insisting you are an ego, nor insisting the world and body are your home. You will find peace only when you realize this world is not where you belong, and your body is not your identity." Forgiveness teaches us this truth about ourselves and is the motivation for putting into practice this and all lessons in the workbook. And this is from the Gifts of God. A time will come when time is meaningless and place is nowhere. All our concepts wait but their appointed ending. They uphold a dream with no dimensions. At the gate of heaven, are they merely laid aside before the blazing of the light within? We give our trust to the experience we ask for now. Our sinlessness is but the will of God. This instant is our willing one with His. Let us join with Jesus in this holy instant and reflect our oneness with God and experience peace and freedom from anxiety when we release our grievances, the essence of our relationship with Him. I trust my brothers who are one with me. Thank you so much for joining with me today. I love you. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you.